Hi, everybody. Okay. Hi. How is everybody? Um, okay, let me see what I can do about that. Hi. Okay, let me say hi to everyone. Evie, Shelling, Cindy, Leah, Beth, Darren, Amy, Carol, Z, Lucy in the Sky, Marie, Leah, Reg from Cali with Love, OSP, Halina, Namhar, Jelma, Kathleen, Melva, Beth, JJ, Melanie, Cypher, Mama, Lorraine, Elaine, Demoral, Orchid, Solvin, Arlene, Angel Star, Lawrence, Ako 613 Bangtan, Bang Luna, V Heart, Nikon Lady, Leia Dodger Girl on Twitch. Hello. Amari, Pinayon Say, Tisa, Rebecca Sue, MJD Gemini Consuelo, Estify, Sue V, Rob, Rebecca, Tessa, Nigma Price. Hi, Personal Space. Oh, where are you? Personal Space also on Twitch. Hello, Twitch people. Okay, we have 17 on Twitter, 3 on Twitch, and 134 on YouTube. Hi! Don't forget to like. Please like the video. Hi. Okay, let me show that. Please like the video. Hi, are you all excited? Tomorrow's ticketing. For those of you who might forget, tomorrow is ticketing. Oh, wait, I forgot to load that. Wait, there's one more here. So I think ticketing will be, when is ticketing? What time is ticketing? So for US pre-sale. Oh wow. Okay. For US pre-sale will be in 6:03 p.m. Eastern, so that's 12 Pacific. So please do not forget. Okay, I'll show this so that you guys can see. I know that a lot of you, so including me, I'm going to try for one more day because I want to watch 2 days. One will have a suite, and then the other day, okay, give me 1 second. So for Army membership pre-sale, that is on the 29th. That's tomorrow. 3 p.m. Eastern, so that's 12 Pacific. So Army membership soundcheck VIP pre-sale is also the same time. Soundcheck VIP package on sale will be 30th. So my gut feel is that nothing will be left for regular for regular ticketing, and everything's going to be sold out. So please do not forget. My suggestion, so I will try to buy as many tickets as I can, and then I will just resell it to people on Patreon. My priority would of course be the Patreon community. So I'll resell it at cost for those who don't have or won't be able to get tickets. And then I encourage, just if only if you can like financially buy extra tickets to help out armies. Because you, when I say, think about it, because there's always a possibility that you won't be able to resell it, right? So think about it before you do it. Make sure that you can handle it to buy, I mean, buying extra tickets just in case. Um, so yeah. So tomorrow I will be trying for New Jersey because that's where I'm going to be first. That's my first, and then that's after that I'll go to other stops. Yes, good luck to everybody who's gonna try and get tickets. So it's always Hunger Games, and I think it's going. This is going to be worse than J Hope because this has smaller venues, and especially for LA. I mean, it's just it's too small. I just saw it too. It was too small. So um, tomorrow will be a maid house. Good luck, armies to get. Yeah, good luck to everybody. So don't forget tomorrow, Pacific 12, and then Eastern it's 3 p.m. Okay. Yes, good luck to everybody who's gonna try and get tickets. So these are the dates. Just a reminder: July 17th, Anaheim, and then Dallas, and then Florida, and then New Jersey. Okay, and then Europe, London, and then Amsterdam. Ooh, okay. I heard Goyang is already sold out. 2 days, everything is sold out, so nobody will be able to get tickets anymore. And then, yeah, best of luck. Yes, good luck. May the force be with you. Coldplay is in Miami the same days, and Jin is in Tampa. It will be crazy to go to both. Yeah, it'll be crazy. You have to have. Oh, who's asking? Okay, Halina, you have to have US membership for the US pre-sale and global for others. Yeah, unfortunately, they've retained that rule that for you to get tickets in the US, you do need to get you need to have US membership. I think you can still, if I'm not mistaken, I think you can still buy US membership. The thing is that you do need a US address to have a US membership. So it will be a struggle getting tickets. So be patient, everyone. The things we do for our boys. I know. And so one of the deets that I got is that so things are they jacked it up. The prices, they jacked it up for gin. I think what happened was they realized with Hobie just how big the demand is. And so I think like people, they just realized that oh, this is it. This is how we make money because armies are going to pay. And so they jacked up the prices. So I'm anticipating that even the tickets will be higher than that of Hobie. And then the suites are much more expensive than that of Hobie. And then we can expect that it's going to be even more expensive with BTS. So, of course, suites are more expensive when it is a stadium. And I'm assuming, although I kind of have a nagging feeling that they're going to do something different. Um, but yeah, so I think when they do their stadium tours, their stadium tour, I think is going to be way more expensive. So if we have US, we can't do Amsterdam. You need to have global membership for Amsterdam. You need to have global. I think you can. You just need, yeah, I think you can for Europe. You just need global membership. It's too bad that he's not coming to Chicago. I know. I think part of it is the fact that he does need. This is just my gut feel. I'm just speculating. I'm not sure if I'm correct, but I think part of it that he wanted to be strategic about where he's going because by then the boys are out. They're done with their service, so they might be starting to prepare for their album, and he probably wants, of course, definitely wants to be there with his group. So I think he was like, this is, and also I think this is this is not like a super concert like how J-Hope did it. It's, I think, a mix. As far as I understand it, it's a mix of fan meet and concert, primarily because he doesn't have enough songs of his own for a solo concert. So I kind of feel like this is his run through, like he's getting a feel of what it's going to take to do an actual tour. It takes a lot out of your body to do something like this, and I think he just wants to gauge it, like how it's going to go, how it's going to be. um we are joking that he is doing a theme park tour. He probably is. He's probably going to do a theme park tour. That is a shame, that they will make tickets so expensive. I'm waiting for OT7 just for that reason. Yeah, so that's what I heard. Like, I think people, people just caught up on their, they now know the demand when it comes to BTS, and so they're going to make everything more expensive. Hi, Cheryl, love MLB. Gen comedy. I think there's going to be more interaction for sure. So my hope is, for Lock to be on my side, and I hope I can get floor tickets for day two. I mean, it would be great if I can get VIP, but floor tickets will do fine, even if it's just that. Eva, hi, Ate, and everyone. Question: is the US membership open all the time? Sorry, I don't have a membership yet. It is open all the time. Where are you from, Eva? And do you want to come to the US to watch? Lots of dad jokes. That is actually one thing that people are suggesting, that for armies to actually prepare for some dad jokes. Disneyland, Six Flag over Texas, Busch Garden, Tampa, or Epic Universe. Hello, everyone. So, okay. So, Eva, are you planning to come to the US? And where are you from? Okay, so let's go back to our reminders. Um, so I will be going to New Jersey. So for sure, I have one ticket for one day, and I'm just hoping to get the best tickets that I can for the second day. So for those that are coming to New Jersey to watch. Oh, you're from San Diego. Yes. So you can, I think you can still buy membership I think until like midnight of today, you can still buy membership. So yes is the answer. I suspect it might be something along the lines of the two showcases. Yes, it could be something like that. So going back, we're planning to go to Brennan. This is actually a selfish thing for me. I really want to go to Brennan. And so I'm just inviting people to come with me to go to Brennan. Brennan is a restaurant where they ate, Jungkook and Jimin, for Are You Sure? So I would just want to go, like, have lunch there maybe, and then come back for the concert. I unfortunately didn't plan ahead that much, because what happened was I was rushing to book my hotel because I knew they were going to jack up the prices for their hotel, for the hotels around the area, like the closest four. I think there are four closest. One is Doubletree, Robert Tree, and then there's two more. And so I was rushing to buy tickets, and so I sort of just thought about the dates that I will be there, and that's what I reserved. And then later on, I kind of realized that I should have extended one more day. But I don't know if I can. So what's gonna happen is that I want to go to Brennan on Thursday. Thursday is when I want to go to Brennan for lunch, or a late lunch, before going back to the hotel, freshening up, and then going to the concert. So you can buy membership, but can you still register for pre-sale? I think you can still do it. Do it now if you can. Blue cheeseburger. No. Well, number one, I don't eat beef or pork. So I will, whatever chicken they have there, or if they have like seafood or fish, or even if it's just fries, I will be happy to do that. But I don't eat beef or pork. So no to that. It says US Army membership card. Aha, that means I have to buy one more membership for future global membership. Mine is due to renew in June. I will renew through Weaver Store. Yes, correct. You do need to renew. Yes. And you need a global membership. Which burger made Jimin ill? Was it the blue cheeseburger? I don't think they were able to identify specifically which one made him ill, because he made one bite of the blue cheeseburger, and that was it blue cheeseburger or black cheeseburger or something like that. He like one bite. After that, he ate half of the burger, that the second burger that Jungkook actually bought. So I don't think they were able to. Probably he was like already starting to get sick before even they go to the trip. They went to the trip or something. Um, I still remember how Jimin inhaled that steak sandwich, though. The deadline to register, or here, Darlene said the deadline to register for the pre-sale was 4/27. Oh, that. Oh, okay then. The pre-registration is done, I guess. So, Eva, if you want, oh, San Diego. So you're probably gonna go to LA, right? Right? Yeah. So I was just gonna say, like, just join us in our suite. You don't need to go pre-sale, but that's in New Jersey. Okay. Actually, blue cheese is not bad. He probably didn't like the taste of the cheese. Yeah, something made his tummy upset. Okay. Jimin didn't like it, but I don't know if that made him sick. Yeah. Something made him sick. We don't know what that is. So I'll probably, yeah, whatever, like if they have chicken burger or something, that's what I'll probably go for. If they have nothing, if it's all beef and pork, I'll probably just order like salad and fries or something like that. I just want to like go. I mean, I'll go to more places if I had the time, if we had the time, but I don't know if you have the time. I mean, it's an hour and a half, I think, away from New Jersey, right? An hour and a half, and then an hour and a half going back. So I did cut my bangs. It was an absolute disaster. I tried what Jungkook did. And it was an absolute disaster. um, or you're going to Korea. Now you're getting hungry. Okay, so that's the plan. I mean, we'll make more plans if I will have more time. I just don't know how that's gonna happen. So that and then I just wanna, there's this huge call about not providing enough support to our leader, RM. So once again, I'm putting this in front of everybody, hoping, begging that you include his song in your playlists. Okay, so this is the updated. I just updated this an hour before I went on for this live. Okay. So for J Hope's Sweet Dreams is at 85. So it did move 10 million. And then Mona Lisa is went from 69 million to 88. Big move. Okay, so it's getting more streams than Sweet Dreams, that's for sure. So it's pacing faster. It's moving faster than Mona Lisa, than Sweet Dreams, sorry. And then for BTS, we're tracking two songs that's closest to 1 billion, and that is Fake Love and Life Goes On. For Fake Love, we're very, very close. So please continue. Hi, Sam L. Hi, Lily. So for Fake Love, please continue streaming. It's at 934. This is for Spotify, by the way. It's already at 934 million. So we are at 68 million, less than 68 million away from actually getting another 1 billion for BTS. And then Life Goes On is at 794 million. Okay. For Jin, the astronaut is 578, but Running Wild is actually pacing faster. So it's moving faster at 578, sorry, at 331 million. Okay, Suga is at 532 million. Now, more of J Hope barely moved at 302 million. So it was 2 weeks ago, April 16, it was at 300 million. Now it's at 302 million. Okay. RM The guy that everyone is saying we're not giving justice to, we're not supporting. 291 million to 294 million. I don't know what kind of support these people are giving RM. Certainly not in the streams, because 3 million for 2 weeks. Come on, people. If you really are very concerned about not giving our leader enough support, let's start with his music, because that's the most important thing. Let's give him 1 billion. Let's move this. Come on. Let's include his songs in our playlists. Okay. And then after RM is Jimin, Set Me Free at 400. This is actually moving so slow, but then his other songs are moving fast. So he is at 413 million for Set Me Free. And then Friends is at 494. This is for V, 494. And then Slow Dancing is 493. So these two songs are probably going to hit 1 billion right around the same time. And then 3D of Jungkook is at 872 million. My God, look at that movement. 858 million to 872 million. That's the kind of movement that we need for our dear leader. Come on. Come on, people. Okay. BTS, we go to 2 billion. This is the road to 2 billion. So that first chunk is road to 1 billion. This second chunk is road to 2 billion. Butter is at 1.3 billion. My Universe is at 1.4 million. Boy with Love is at 1.2 billion. Love Me Again by V is at 1 million, 1 million 42. 1 billion 42 million. Jimin's Like Crazy is at 1.35 billion. And then Who is at 1.64 billion. So he moved 39 billion. Sorry, 39 million in 2 weeks. And then Jungkook, standing next to you, is at 1.18, coming from 1.17. And then left and right is 1.07, coming from 1.072. Okay. 72 to 76. And then Road to 3 billion. There are two songs that already crossed 2 billion. Seven and Dynamite. Dynamite is at 2 billion, 2 billion 56 million. And then Seven is at 2.33 billion. Okay. So this is just Spotify, but I have always believed that this should be the easiest for us. Because we can actually stream for free. So please, people, if everyone is so offended that we're not giving our leader enough support, why don't we start here? There's like hundreds and hundreds of tweets about armies not supporting RM. And then this. This is frustrating. Okay? So frustrating. Because if there's anything that we need to hype, it's their music. First and foremost. RM specifically said, may I remind everybody, when he did Indigo, he specifically said that he doesn't care about anything else. He wanted to create albums, or he wanted to create songs that people will put in their playlist. That's what he said. He wants to create songs that people will be putting in their playlists. That's the most basic thing that he wanted, and we're not giving it to him. And we're fighting our own fandom over some damn awards that we very well know. It's probably decided who's going to win that already. So can we focus ourselves in what matters more? Their streams, listening to their music, and highlighting the creative and musical excellence of what they are creating. Okay? Okay. Congratulations, Stace. I'm kidding. Okay. Hi, Han. It's embarrassing. I know. I'm like, okay, so you wanted to support our leader. Why don't we support him in the most basic of ways? Okay, so this, I also track this, the number of Billboard Hot 100 entries that they have. People are asking why I don't do this on any other chart. I don't have access. I'm in the US. I have access to Billboard Hot 100. Let me know where I can access, like, for example, UK charts, all of those stuff, and I will track it. Okay, so Billboard Hot 100. This is another. another example of this. I think I did not update Jin, huh? Okay, so for let's ignore Jin. I think I did not update his. For Shoga, he has 4 entries. The Cheetah, Girl of My Dreams, That, and Hegum. All of it he co-wrote and co-produced. And then, but two of that, he's a feature. Okay, for J-Hope, he actually has tied Jungkook with the most number of songs in Billboard Hot 100. 7 apiece. 7 apiece. So they each have 7 songs they push to Billboard Hot 100. Okay. So he has chicken noodle soup, more, arson on the street, LV bag, sweet dreams, Mona Lisa. Okay. And then he is a feature in LV bag. Everything else is a main artist, some solo, and then some he has a featured artist in them. Okay, RM, once again, the leader that everyone is complaining we're not giving enough support to, has 2 entries: Never Play and Wildflower. Guess what? He has a solo song. Well, not solo, he's a featured artist in Tablo's song, Stop the Rain, is going to be released in May 2. This is our chance to give him a third entry in Billboard Hot 100, especially after what Tablo said. Okay, for everybody who did not watch my video, Tablo said specifically that one of his juniors, was given a guide by their A&R, um, and they were given a guide on how to make a hit song. This is funny. So they were given a guide on how to make a hit song, and one of that would be that the intro has to be short. Um, People in 2025 do not have time for complicated lyrics, so the lyrics has to be very simple, and it has to be something that people can use as a background for like lifestyle things like putting on makeup and cooking. and our and Tablo said that his song with RM actually violates all of the guidelines that the A&R gave them. So it has a really long intro. The song lyrics are complicated. Well, come on, it's RM and Tablo. So two of the most cerebral songwriters on the planet. And it's not really good for cooking. So this is our chance. If we really want to prove that we want to support our leader, this is the best way to support him. At this stage, I'm not going to accept any kind of complaints about the label not supporting them, Big Hit doing this, being unfair, whatever. I'm not going to accept that. If armies can band together and work together for this damn award, we can work together to chart this freaking song. Okay? Okay? We're going to do this. We're going to chart him inside Billboard Hot 100 for the third time with a song that is the most unlikely, that violates the most basics of what a hit song should be. Okay? Are we all in? Are we all in? Come on. Okay, if this fandom does not chart this freaking song, okay. All right. Now, do you have question? Yes, Indigo is a masterpiece. I know. I love Indigo. I super love Indigo. Um, I think there's not a single song that I don't like in Indigo, although his duet with Paul Blanco is my favorite in that song just because they blend together so well. I hope that he does another song with Paul Blanco. Let's go. I mean, okay. People are gonna put their streaming screen caps, their screenshots of their streaming, just to prove that we're all streaming. Okay, if this fandom does not support RM Tablo, freaking no, I do not want to hear another complaint again. If they can all work together for this freaking award, then they can work for this song. Okay. Lonely. Oh yeah, lonely. Okay, let's go to, since we're talking about RM. This fandom is in shambles. I don't know what's happening, but Congratulations, Stace. Someone told me to stop saying that because I was like, but it's true. We're handing Stace like the victory. Closer. Yes. Oh yeah, the his duet with Paul Blanco. That's my favorite. I think I've already confessed to everybody that for the longest time, Closer was actually my most played track. So I was like advocating for Flower Works, but in fact, oh sorry for Wildflower, but in fact my most played song was Somebody, but not Closer. Sorry. Let's post our streaming screenshot and hashtag. I know. I really, I'm so pissed. So if this song does not chart, I will not have any other complaint. I will not hear any other complaint from this freaking fandom about Big Hit not supporting people not coming together for him. They were able to do this for AMA. We can do this for his song. Okay. Too busy staring at the picture. So this is one of my favorite pictures of him. Can anyone suggest a shared streaming playlist on Spotify? Rochelle, are you in my Patreon? If you are, go to collections and then go to useful resources. And then under that, look for the post about streaming links. So there are some members of our community who are really good in creating playlists. Uh, and I paste the links of their playlist there, and you can just, and these people I trust, like I know that they don't like a lot of playlists that other people paste on Facebook, for example. Let's say um Facebook or X or IG. You'll play them, and then in the middle of it they will actually change it. At least these people who own these playlists, I trust them because they've been in our community for a long time, because so you know that they won't change it. So go there, go to collections and then useful resources, and then go to streaming links. Oh, sorry, yeah, streaming links, and you'll find the links there. So Fire Butterfly, I think, is the one that constantly updates her playlist for, and then she favors whatever it is that we're pushing. So just as a guide, don't, if you're creating a playlist, don't put the song that you are pushing consecutively. Like, don't put it like 5 times in a row, because you're going to get tagged a bot. So it's better if you put songs in between. Okay. Put him back. Okay. Yeah, I sure. There. It's definitely better to look at than I am. I don't expect all people to support the guys perfectly equal, but such huge discrepancies are so disappointing. Yeah, I know. That's from the very first time I heard that reasoning, that we're not giving RM the attention, we're not supporting him enough. I'm like, that's BS. That's absolute BS. Because if you want to support him enough, you will start with his song. You will stream it, and it, quite honestly, I mean, he's the leader of BTS, and a lot of this was, he's written what, 95% of the discography of BTS. He should chart higher. He should chart higher. He is the author of the songs that we so love. He comes up with his own songs and we don't support it. So yeah, yeah. Now, I'm not guilty of it because I even have my own Yung Line playlist. Just them. Songs of the three of them. Of course, I practice what I preach. So I put songs in between. But it is their playlist. And I alternate that. The only time I am not able to play the Yung Line playlist is during like the first month of whenever there is a new release and we're pushing it. Then I'll create other playlists for that song. But I will still be putting the Yung Line songs as fillers. So I know I'm doing my part. I don't know what other people are doing. Okay. So all this talk about we're not giving RM the right to provide, that's absolutely BS. Start with his song. Start with streaming his songs. How about that? Okay. Okay, rant over. All right. Let's go to our, let's be happy. Okay. I have hand painted paints. I have US and Global Weavers membership. If I can help someone get tickets, how would I go about that? Um, well, I always say, so you just buy tickets, right? That's the just buy as many tickets as you can afford, and then post it on X or on or let me know. I'll put it in Patreon for those who are unable to get it. Then they can buy it from you and just sell it to them at cost. Now, the only risk that you will have to shoulder is that there is always a possibility nobody's going to buy your ticket. So also you have to think about it. Like, if I buy this, will someone be able to afford it? Okay. The very first song on my 1B BTS playlist is Wildflower by RM. So it's the first song I hear all the time. Shouldn't Jin be a part of the Young line? Yes. Yes, he's a part of the Young line. And he is a part of the 1 billion there. So that's Jin. I don't know if you can see it well, but Jin has one song at 578 million, half a million, and then 335 or 331 million. So yes, Jin is part of the Young line. So yes, I have a separate list. I have a separate playlist for the Young line. So if you my playlist is actually in the collections in the streaming links post, but I don't stream the same way. I stream like a human being. In other words, I don't have a pattern. So if you're like the kind of streamer that likes counting the number of times a song appears in 1 hour, that's not me. I try as much as possible to stream like a human being. So it's like I have no pattern. It'll be RM, and then it'll be One OK Rock, and then Jimin, Jungkook, Suga, J Hope, and then some artists from Malaysia, and then some artists from China, and then go back to BTS members. So I have no pattern, in other words. So if you're expecting, like, if you want to stream RM and it's like RM 7 consecutive times, I don't that's not how I stream. Okay. All right, let's go to RM. Let's talk about his leadership. Let's focus on that, since people keep on talking about us not giving RM enough credit for what he has done for his artistry. So let's do that. How about that? Okay, so let's go through 10 of the. This is what I would consider to be proof that he is the best leader among K-pop groups. Now, probably like groups in general. Now, I constantly say that I do not consider BTS to be K-pop anymore. I really don't. I still don't. Um, Primarily because I don't want them. Okay, there. So primarily because now, but I am using that title, the best leader among K-pop groups, primarily because that's how they started. It is They started as a K-pop group, and one proof that that RM is actually the best leader among all K-pop groups is the fact that BTS is so successful. The success of his group is the main proof that he is the best leader. No other group from Korea, or probably from Asia in general, can really hold a candle against BTS. The success of BTS, both commercially and artistically. They have been nominated in the Grammys like 5 times, won the highest award in AMA, which is the Artist of the Year award, and they are the most awarded Asian group globally. Also in the US, they've won so many Billboard awards. They've established so many records, and they remain the best selling, the highest grossing. They hold the record for the highest grossing tour for an Asian group. I know that YG is trying to convince people it's actually Blackpink. They're not. And we also all know that they didn't sell out all of their venues. They also have more than 43 billion streams in Spotify. They have filled it in more than 20, well, not more than, but actually 27 entries in Billboard Hot 100, and six of which actually went to number one. And they also hold the record for the second longest. Well, one member is the longest, and then BTS is the second longest charting song in Billboard Hot 100. Has the longest longest charting song in Billboard Hot 100. But as impressive as all of those records are, the most important thing is their critical contribution to the global music industry. They brought substance to an industry drowning in songs with repetitive chords and juvenile subjects. And as I've mentioned, even Tableau mentioned that one of the A&Rs of these agencies gave them a guideline on what a hit song should be, and that includes having a short intro, that the entire song should be short, no complicated complex subjects or lyrics because people don't have time for it, and you always have to think about how that song may be used for a lifestyle kind of posts on TikTok or other social media. Despite that, BTS has created their own songs. They have gone their own way and never followed any kind of these trends. They incorporated classic literature in their songs, like Damien, the book, the novel, and tackled psychological theories like not Jung, but Jung's Map of the Soul. They released songs that deeply examine mental health, the which is a taboo subject in Asia, the reality of social expectations, also very common in Asia. We grow up with a lot of expectations, not just from society, but also from our own families. And then, of course, the struggle of artists. And these subjects are not common, not usually talked about in mainstream music. Okay. RM, of course, as we know, wrote at least what 90% of their entire choreography. The fusion of complex psychological and literary ideas with pop sound was actually forged by his own pen. This was his own doing, and without his brilliance, I don't think BTS will be able to build such an impressive, complex, and substantial discography. Okay. So that's the first. Second, he really nurtured each member to form a strong team. Early on, the rap line has always been, I at least for me, in my opinion, they are the pillars of BTS because they were the first. They were right from the get go. They were the writers and producers and composers of BTS, and they really sort of built the foundation of BTS. They were the ones who went to Bang HYUK and asked for his guarantee that they will always write their own songs and that their creative direction will always be their call. They wrote and produced their own music even before debuting, and they had this allowed them to have like greater range of musical genre and artists. So they are exposed to more artists here, I mean, in Korea and globally. RM was actually instrumental in widening the spectrum of the rest of the members by personally curating playlists. We know this because it was mentioned in the Talent and Development Special, TND, training and development special of Hybe. It's on YouTube. And in there, the head of the training and development, now the CEO of Big Hit, mentioned that they actually adopted that practice. So RM's practice of curating playlists, giving it to the younger members, Hybe themselves saw the benefit of that, and they started doing that for their own training. And while RM, I don't think has explicitly said this, I really believe that him doing that resulted to a more musically diverse and artistically stronger team, which is a requirement if you want to build a really successful team. I don't know how aware he is that at that time, especially because he was so young, that he was actually strengthening the foundation of BTS. But that's what he did when he widened the spectrum of the musical and artistic spectrum of the members. He strengthened the foundation of the team, and that allowed them to become this successful. Okay. Um, Yes, the list that Jungkook admitted he didn't listen to, and even V. But also they admitted that later on they actually did, and it helped them. Especially V, he said that that's actually how he developed his love for jazz and for R&B because of those playlists. Next is his literary techniques. I think one of the advantages of RM, or probably the biggest advantage that he has as as a musician, is that he is a writer first and foremost. And this is my firm belief, and that's why I really want him to release his own book. And because he is a writer first, he has a very developed literary skill that you don't really find in a lot of musicians or composers or artists, because most of these musicians, especially the ones that, if you are the ones that are in mainstream, they were actually schooled only by their own, by the current trends in mainstream media or by the artists that they like, as opposed to RM, because he is a writer first. He has been schooled in so many levels. He has been schooled academically, he has been schooled by classic literature, and so in that he was able to develop his literary skills, and then he was able to fuse that literary skill with mainstream pop and with hip hop. And that allowed him to write and create songs with complex subjects fleshed out in a very mainstream way. So this made it easier for people like us to immediately get what he's trying to say. And then when we hyper focus on what on his lyrics, we're actually able to dig deeper and discover more. Like it's multidimensional. There's a lot to uncover, unpack in the songs that he's writing. So one example is allegory. RM is so good in allegory. So for those that are not so, I'm sure a lot of you have already forgotten the literary techniques out there, but allegory is a complete narrative where every element symbolizes a broader concept or moral lesson. So he's able to do that in, for example, Wings or Love Yourself. It's as a whole, it's a complete narrative. It's one complete narrative. But then every element, every song, every music video, every photo shoot, every uh, short film that they produce, it's actually, it's a symbol. It symbolizes a sub story, and then each sub story has its own moral lesson. It has its own concept, and then together it's a broader narrative. So that's one literary technique that he actually managed to develop and apply in the songs of BTS. I actually have a video talking about his literary techniques and the literary techniques that he actually applied to BTS songs. So I'll publish maybe this week or maybe next week. I do love Wings album as well. And then authenticity in the midst of global commercial pop success. I don't know if many are appreciative of the fact that even though they were in the midst of global commercial pop success, he actually chose to remain true to his own narrative and his own style. So instead of just giving in to the trend of what pop is, he continued creating and writing songs with complex stories. So one example would be Fake Love. So this actually was released during when their global western fame was starting. And so ideally you would succumb to what the West wants and you would write songs that are more bop, like Dynamite, like Butter. But instead of doing that, he continued writing songs like Fake Love with complex story, substance, instead of something instead of songs with post language, songs that don't really mean anything but they slide off your tongue very very easily, like many of the pop songs that we have today. So people have to appreciate that he stood his ground and didn't give in to the pressure of global success, that instead of caving in to what a pop song should be, a hit song should be, he decided no, he's going to continue writing based on their own experience. Okay. Now, another thing, and this is very public, he is often shown making the hard ask, meaning he expresses the most difficult things to ask, even though sometimes it can make him look bad. One of that example would be when V and Jin fought. I'm sure that everyone remembers that. The fight between Jin and V. They decided to publish it. I don't know why they did, but they decided to publish it. So for that, so Jin, V was crying. And, in the soft parenting trend that's very pervasive nowadays, um, people are the tendency is to ask people to prioritize their mental health and their emotions more than anything else. But it was RM who actually stepped forward and told V and Jin, essentially telling them, you're gonna have to set your shit aside because we're gonna have to perform. And he was very reasonable in his ask, and he was very clear in his explanation. He said there are people outside who's been waiting for us since this morning, waiting for us for days, and who saved their money for years just to see us today. We're going to have to talk to this about this later. For now, we're going to have to perform. Now, in this day, as I've said, in this soft parenting trend that's very pervasive nowadays, this is a no-no, because you're supposed to prioritize the emotions of people. You're supposed to listen to them, prioritize mental health more than anything. But RM being the leader more than anybody knows that there are some instances when you just have to be a performer and you just have to be a professional. And the truth is that there are 60,000 people out there, and we don't know whether there are some people who save their money their entire lives just to see us this one time, and we're not gonna F this up. So, in other words, he was very gentle in his words, but what he was really saying is that you're going to have to get your shit together because we're going to have to go out there in a few minutes and perform our hearts out. So, he's known for making those asks. There's other instances, and there are simple instances as well when someone's delivering a speech and he has to be the one to tell the matinee line to shut up because someone's delivering a speech. So, um and it could make him look bad, but for him it has to be done, so he does it. And that's part of being a leader, and when you just know, and you know that you're gonna have to do difficult things like this. But even then, he also is very balanced. I think what I appreciate most about RM is that even early on, he knew that he has a side of him that he needs to get out that may not be appropriate for the group. That's why he kept on releasing his own work. He was the first one to release, he was the first one to actually collaborate with other artists. He released solo songs very early, and then he had a mixtape followed by Sugar, but he was the first. And then he kept on doing it, and I think it was his, this is speculation, but I think it was his way of balancing his identity as a leader and his identity as a solo artist, because there are some things that he needed to get out that he can't with BTS. And that, I think, allowed him to become a better leader, because he's also still able to nurture the side of him that the group cannot. Okay. Next is um, his personal evolution, because he has, if you look at his discography, it's so impressive, coming from RM and then Mono, Indigo. You can see the progression, and you can see how, you can see his efforts. Number one, you can see just how each of the album actually reflects where he is in his life. And then you can see the progression, different genre, different feel, and then even the lyricism and the literary styles, the literary techniques that he was using. It was also evolving, and as I've said, I'm going to talk about it in a separate video. So it's impressive how he was able to evolve personally. So his group is evolving, and he is the main lyricist there. He's the leader, and he's also personally evolving. I don't know how many brains he has, but he doesn't seem to have just one for him to be able to accomplish all of that. And each of that would be very, very complex. And then he knows and maximizes each member's strength. One of the best demonstration of this is when, I don't know if you watch this Bangtan TV, when they were trying to figure out how to deliver a speech. Well, the blocking when they were going to deliver a speech in the White House. and they were trying to figure out, and he was making suggestions, and then J-Hope was the one who stepped forward and said, okay, this is how we're going to do it. One person comes here, and then the other person comes here, and then he just let it he moved aside and let J-Hope took the center stage. And I felt that is one of the most demonstrative ways of showing what kind of a leader RM is. He knows where he knows who to tap in certain situations, and he allows them to shine instead of imposing himself. Another fun demonstration of that is when they had this run BTS where they were passing the bottle of water in between them. And so, because it was uneven, there are seven members, RM was actually sitting down, and the rest of the six members couldn't figure out how to do it. And he stood up and he said, okay, this is how we're going to do it. And so he was just counting. And Suga specifically said, do not talk unless you're RM. And I thought this is how BTS functions. You have this one member that's setting the tone, and the others are doing it. So that he knows how to do. He knows where each member is strong, and he allows the member to lead in those departments. He doesn't always impose himself. Okay. Next, his vision, delegation, and execution, which is kind of connected to the previous one. RM is actually, along with Suga, actually, they're two of the most vocal when it comes to what they want to achieve for the group. They've been shameless in saying, I want this, I want that for BTS, and most of which they've been able to achieve. But along with their vision, along with the ambition that they have, is their knowledge on how to execute. They knew exactly where they were headed, that even their own CEO, Bang Shiyuk, said that in the letter that he wrote to them, I don't have to tell you where you're going, because even I haven't been in that place that you are now, that you're kind of directing yourself how to do things. So he had a vision, and he knew how to move the pieces for them to get there. So from even the decision to actually, one example would be their decision to release Dynamite and Butter. He knew at that time as a leader, because he was given the choice. When he was given a song, he was given the choice, do you want to rewrite the lyrics? And he could have easily said, we're going to use my own lyrics. But he knew, no, at this stage, this is not what the group needs, and this is not what Army needs. And so he decided, we're going to sing this song as is. And it was the right decision, because that's what got them to number one. And from there, and that started the string of number ones that they had. Okay. So I think, all in all, oh, and then the other thing is that he has this, the last I wasn't able to include here, is his understanding of the market in ways even professional marketers haven't been able to do. I don't know, I'm going to go back to the first there so that you can see him. I don't know if you're aware of this, but perhaps the single greatest marketing move RM himself conceptualized and he himself executed with nobody having to go in between was his live stream every after release. After every release, he would go live and talk to armies about how the song was made. Sometimes he would talk about the evolution of the song from the melody to how it changed and blah blah blah. Sometimes he would complain because he wanted to sing a part, but his voice was not chosen. He provided explanations and insights about the songs, which made listeners understand not just the meaning of the song, but also not just the meaning of the song from his perspective as a writer, but also the nuances of it. Because when we know something more intimately, it's easier us to actually get attached to it. It also allowed us to appreciate his artistry, his musical techniques that otherwise would have been ignored if he wasn't doing this. If he wasn't doing this live and explaining and talking about the songs, he told behind the stories that made fans appreciate and understand the process of creating music. So all of this information served to build a bridge between the fans and the art itself. As RM managed to highlight the word, um, uh, not the word, but he was able to highlight the lyrics, and and the songs, the words, not just himself or his group. So that those lives actually did more in marketing, in developing the loyalty than many of the materials that they have released. That eventually made the market develop a deeper affinity. Us, we have a deeper affinity to the songs, to the materials that they are releasing, understanding and loyalty with the group. That of course translate to better sales, right? If you're appreciating something, if you understand something, if you know that this song actually speaks your emotions, then you're most likely to support that. So I think that approach that he did, doing live streams after every release, may be considered revolutionary, especially in the West, because most Western musicians or artists have been packaged to be mysterious, to be exclusive, to be perfect, and many believe that giving away too much takes away from the exclusivity of the artist. So him doing this was something very different. And I don't think a lot of artists would have the tenacity and the smarts to actually do something like that. And so that's why I think he is the best leader in K-pop. Okay. Do you have questions? Um the mole on the left side of the neck. You're talking about his, okay, his shoulders. Okay, let's go see your comments. We're gonna get thrown out. We're gonna get thrown out of the class, ladies. I feel like we're passing notes during lecture. The boys have so much respect for RM. I'll switch to my laptop. I can use the app feature. Okay. RM is such a great leader. He is a great leader. Breathless. Leia, for me, is J Hope's dancing. Jimin's hips are a thing of beauty. I'm glad they published that because it humanizes them, showing they are not perfect and can work through conflicts in ways that don't damage their relationship. I think the issue Army is facing now is our comfortability in thinking the RM or rap line lean more on their artistry, which is less mainstream, so it makes it okay not to chart them. Yeah, be that as it may, if there is this consciousness already that we're not giving enough to our leader, then where are the streams? That's still my question. Let's just say that let's just say that, oh, we were way too comfortable. We think that it's okay because they aren't really here for records or whatever. I'm still gonna ask. So now that we know, now that people are actually complaining, where are the streams, right? So that's why this entire like fight is just silly for me, because this is so hypocritical, and we're not focusing on the right thing. The right thing is to focus on their music. That's what he said very, very clearly. More than anything. In fact, I think when he had a conversation with Suga, when was it when he appeared in Suchwita, he was it that, maybe that, but he specifically told Suga that he's not yet. He said that he wants to get to a point when he doesn't care about the charts. He said he's not there yet, but he knows that when he created the album, he specifically was trying to create songs that people will add in their playlists. So are all of these things, like, where is the support for his songs? If that's what he wanted, that's what we should be giving him. I think we discount the GP solo streaming for the more popular genre. Well, yeah, that too. We do need to remember that because they do pop, the boys, because they do pop, then yes, it's natural for them to have more fans, like GP, like fans of them, just them, and not fans of the entire group. But even then, even if this is my firm belief, even if without those GP that are supporting, I'm just going to be frank, okay? I don't care about the solos anymore and whatever. The truth is that the two most successful commercially in the US is Jungkook and Jimin, right? let's just say they don't have that kind of a support. I think they should still do better. Meaning RM in the rap line and the Young line actually. They should still be doing better if armies themselves are really including his song in the playlist. Because ideally, you can actually, if you're using his song as a filler in many of your playlists, you would have no problem being able to stream his songs 100 times in a week as a filler, even if it's just a filler. So I think the bottom line is that they're simply not streaming. So um Namjoon wants to make songs that endure, not ones that becomes a hit then disappear. That's what he wants. He said that he wants to create songs that people will include in their playlist. So, that means that that's just the song that you want to listen to. The same way there are Beatles songs that I put in my playlist. I don't care if it charts or not. I just like listening to the song, right? So I think that's what he's going after. He wants to be able to create songs like that. I am a BB Army, but RM is the one I've heard the most speaking of the Grammy. So maybe he isn't so indifferent to them. Speaking of, you mean talking about like wanting to win a Grammy? I agree, Fairlane. Stream the music and concentrate too on that latest release, no matter which member it is. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, so this is our chance to make it up to him. And quite honestly, I think this is actually the perfect opportunity to prove it because Tablo himself said that he doesn't have a lot of promotions prepared for this song, and that he thinks that that's just simply not the kind of song. He said, I don't think this is that kind of a song, so he doesn't have a lot of promotions for it. And so he's asking fans to listen to it and take it where they think it should go. And I think that's like a code. That's indicative. That's like a sign that it's all up to us. If we make it's all on us. And that's why it's the best time to actually really prove our support for RM. If Army can rechart old songs, they can chart Yung Line. Um, where is that? And test songs. So I don't accept that it's GP solos that's making big gap for JK and Jimin. If Army can rechart old songs and they can chart, okay. You don't think that it's the GP doing it for JK and Jimin? Um, Some songs need the push, some songs need to be poetry on the wind to wrap our minds and hearts and ring the deep bell of emotions for long moments. I stream RM in all my playlists. I have a few of them and I switch them up. I listen to music at work and I sleep to music. I finally made it to your message, and yes, tons of credits for the team. V is doing great. Oh yeah, yeah. I meant to reply to that. V is doing great for his genre, by the way. Actually, way more than great. Like better than great. for for a jazz R&B album, for him to be able to pull the numbers that he's pulling, he's doing great. And I'm going to argue that that partially would be GP, because there's just a segment of jazz and R&B lovers that I think are appreciating his songs. Yeah. Not just Army. What if streaming service like in the past are playing games with the numbers to cause division? I think they are beyond the rigged Grammy and rigged Spotify. Yeah, I mean, possibly. But I'm not even talking about like record breaking streams. Just, I mean, Jungkook has 3 songs. That's more than 1 billion. And this is not Jungkook's fault, by the way. I love the guy just as much as I love the other members. I'm just saying that if this is not it, let's just assume that this is this is not GP. We have 3 songs for JK that's more than 1 billion, uh, and 2 for Jimin. So and he is not even crossing 400. He's not even crossing 350 million. So I think the charting is more of a true measure of fans outside of army listen to their music. I think that's more helpful to the artist than the intentional streaming of numbers. Charting. Yeah, I mean, we stream so that we can chart. We can rank it inside the chart, right? If army would stream all of the member songs, either main songs or just filler songs with the fandom number, there wouldn't be any issue or problems at all making all members chart. If army would stream all of the member songs, either main songs or filler songs with the fandom number, correct. GP, yes. GP is general public. JK and Jimin are played in commercial spaces, not the others as much. Jimin and JK were able to capture like a new market. It's pop. I mean, it lends itself. It's pop. They're pop. That's what they pursued. That's what they decided to pursue. For Jimin specifically for part for Muse, not so much for Face, but for Muse, it's pop. So they were able to capture a general uh, a new segment, the general public more. Hi, boss lady. Okay, let's go to Bang Shiyok. How about that? I think we all stream differently, so I don't stress anymore. Correct. That's why I said just enjoy the process. Even this voting, I mean, I still vote, but I'm trying to just enjoy the process. I want to be happy when I vote, not be stressed who's leading. Like I just want to vote. I want to open one account, vote for my favorite, and move on. Right? Vote for Jimin on one, vote for RM on one, vote for another for Jimin on another, RM on another. Just want to enjoy the process. For all we know, somebody's already decided as a winner. So so I do hear Jimin and Jungkook in stores. I mean, they're pop songs. Okay, one of the criticisms. Oh, by the way, Bangchuk, have you seen him? He lost so much weight. Do you think he's taking Ozempic? Look at that. Look at the difference. Look at the middle guy to this guy on the right. He's so slim now. He looks fantastic. Yeah. I hope he's doing it healthy, of course. I am all for, of course, everyone should be healthy. And I am all for dieting, but not like dangerous dieting. So I hope he's just doing, I mean, we all need to be healthy. That's just my point. So I'm glad he's losing weight. He looks good. I hope he continues because there's a lot of people. Congrats, Stace. That's why I keep on saying congratulations, Stace. He looks very healthy. Yeah, I hope he continues, but I hope that he's doing it correctly. I hope that he's not doing like something, whatever, pills or whatever. I hope he's doing it correctly. I mean, you know, some people say that Ozempic isn't so bad for as long as you take it the right way. I don't know. I haven't taken it yet, but if it is, that's what is making him lose weight. That's okay. For as long as he's doing it healthily, that's fine. Medication, and you think it's medication? It could be medication. He looks more confident than ever. Yeah, maybe he has a girlfriend or something. I'd be happy if he has a girlfriend, but I know that someone here actually he is the target. um. Okay, wait. I'm gonna take someone out because uh, can you block that guy that's doing ads? I don't know if I can block him because he's on Twitch. He doesn't look like a person on Ozempic. Okay. So there's like a look if you're taking Ozempic. Yeah, he needs to be very healthy for our boys. But I think one of the funny things that people say about him is that um, a lot of people shade his skill as a CEO and as a producer because they keep on saying he has been unable to create another BTS. That's what they keep on saying. Like, oh, he's not that good considering he's been trying, but he hasn't been able to create another BTS, which I think is silly. I think he is part of what created BTS. He did not create BTS. I mean the success of BTS. So this is a lot of people keep on saying like, oh, he's so like he's just lucky with BTS, but he won't be able to repeat the success. The truth is that no one will be able to repeat the success of BTS. If RM is to lead another group, he won't be able to replicate the success of BTS. As good as a leader he is, he won't be able to replicate the success of BTS. It's going to be successful, but not as successful as BTS. If Bangtan subs, for example, which is a huge help in BTS in growing their fan base because they were the ones that were really translating the videos of BTS in the early days. If they do this for another group, they won't be able to replicate the success they had in attracting Western fans. They did with BTS. And even for army support. Thank you, Fire Butterfly. We were just talking. I mentioned you earlier. Oh, your playlist. I mentioned your playlist. If Bangtans and even for me, if for example I create another community for another group, I also won't be able to replicate this kind of community, the kind of um, the how this community work together. I won't be able to replicate it because the truth is that BTS is actually not just generational. It's not just once. It's not just once in a lifetime or once in a generation. It's actually once. They come only once. So no other BTS will follow. No other group will follow BTS. But Bang Shik has actually been able to replicate. Well, he has been able to launch successful groups. One of which is TXT. I know a lot of people doubt their success, but they're actually very, very successful. And of course, there's Le Seraphim, there is Enhypen, and Islet. In fact, I would argue that Bang HYUK has actually not been able to create a group that failed. So let's take TXT, for example. They are one of the best selling acts in 2023. So they are actually fourth. Blackpink, Suga, and Twice in terms of live shows. And then TXT. I mean, that's not a bad company. For you to be after Blackpink, Suga, and Twice, I think that's a good position, right? And they earned in gross 47 million for their tour in 2023. They also are the highest grossing Asian male act in 2023. Suga is number one, 17 million, and then 16 million, and then them, 14 million. And 17 is actually a third gen act. They have the highest grossing and most attended show in BMO by a Korean act. They're just next to Blackpink. And we don't know. I mean, the one thing about YG, not Blackpink, but the one thing about YG is that they lied. They have lied so much. I don't know when they're telling the truth. Like when they release a number, I'm like, yeah, that's probably not true. They keep on manipulating the numbers. So even here when they're saying like, oh, they have like they earn 13.8 million, I'm like, really? Do you? I doubt it. You just lie so much. Okay. TXT 17 and Hypen are actually the top three highest grossing K-pop boy groups for 2023. I mean, what else are you gonna ask for, right? They're always in the top three. And for fourth gen, they're neck and neck with Stray Kids in terms of numbers. A lot of people are arguing that because now Stray Kids book stadiums, I just want to remind everybody that just because you book a stadium doesn't mean you will sell it out. So, and I am a stay. I consider myself a stay. I love Stray Kids. I've watched as many of their albums. I'm sorry, concerts. They've sold out some, but definitely not all. So I think, for example, SoFi was a wrong move for them. I think they should have done one day instead of doing two. I don't know if they're gonna do Wembley. So they're one of the best. So this, according to Billboard, Big Hits music artist becomes the highest grossing touring K-pop male acts in 2023. As I've said, Suga and then them. Um, Imagine the amount of money that Suga took home with that solo tour. um, thank you, River Win. Thank you, Pear character flying in the air with red cape, um, and a smile on his face. Thank you. So just imagine how much Suga would have taken home, and he is now sharing it with with six other kids. He was gonna take home. He's not gonna take home 57.1 million. So probably about 30% is what he's gonna be taking home as an artist. Imagine that. 30% of that is all his. Hmm? He was okay not to work for another 2 years. Okay. Jin Lene ad is coming soon. It is coming soon. Yeah, they had a teaser. YG do seem to fudge the numbers a lot. That's why I don't trust it. Like whatever they say, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna wait until somebody like how many all of the stops of the tours of the groups that they manage, they will always announce it's sold out. But the venue itself has never said it. And as we know now, everyone has said the final declaration should come from the venue. The venue has to say it. If not, then it's not counted. Okay, so the best-selling artist on Circle chart, TXT's number three. Number one is 17, but that's third gen, and then Stray Kids, and then TXT. So I don't know why people keep on saying that they are not successful when they clearly are. They clearly are. Based on all the numbers that we have, they clearly are successful. I think what they are expecting is for TXT to become as successful as BTS, which is just I don't think anybody's going to be successful as BTS, and that includes TXT. I think TXT has to be measured against their contemporaries like Stray Kids. So this is Bang Shio again losing weight with all of the girl groups that he's now managing: Cat's Eye, I'll It, and Le Seraphim. And I think he will never ever be able to create another group like BTS. But I do think, and I will say that he is yet to create a group that has failed. Do remember Le Seraphim, I'll It, and Hypen? They're actually just starting, but their numbers are already impressive. So far, Le Seraphim has sold out all of their venues so far. The venues that they have had a concert in, they're just starting their world tour and they've sold it out. Now the question is why do people actually struggle to repeat their success? Why is Bang Shiyuk struggling, or why will he never ever be able to repeat his success? One is I think TXT just leans into their own personal styles. They will see success. They have great songs. They already are successful. What happened to BTS is what we call the lightning in a bottle, the unrepeatable moment, basically. Um, Masterpieces like BTS don't just happen because someone is talented or hardworking. They are talented and hardworking, but those things are not enough. They happen because of timing, cultural mood, technology, and pure emotional urgency collide at the perfect moment. So it's like the perfect storm. That's what happened to BTS. And for that perfect storm to happen, that's going to take years, hundreds of years. And BTS rose with the globalization as well of K-pop. Well, they kind of were the ones that globalized K-pop. The rise of social media, that's why Twitter was instrumental in their success, and the generation craving for authenticity. As you know, before BTS, it was all about perfection, great looks, but not a lot of substance in their music. So those exact conditions can't be engineered again ever, no matter how brilliant Bang Shiyuk is. So he was brilliant enough to pull the right resources together, specifically the seven kids in BTS. He caught a cultural wave at the exact right moment. And so trying to recreate BTS would be like trying to bottle a storm. That's not gonna happen again. Next is there's we call it the tyranny of expectations. So this is very common in celebrities, among celebrities. So after BTS, anything Bang Shi-hyuk produces will be compared to BTS, and that's what's happening to TXT. Fans, critics, the media, everyone will ask, "Is this the next BTS?" And that question itself is a trap, because even if he debuts a brilliant new group, it will not feel as revolutionary simply because it will be judged by the myth of BTS, the standard of BTS, not its own merit. If you look at Michael Jackson after Thriller or J.K. Rowling after Harry Potter, every next move is seen as a shadow of the peak. So it's not, it is rude or heartless to expect them to perform, to be as good as the legend itself. And then there is what we call the personal growth versus public freezing. A lot of people, fans specifically, would ask that their group, their favorite artist, evolve. But once their favorite artist evolves, they actually want the old one. The audience don't want them to change. And so Bang Shi-hyuk has grown as a producer, as an executive producer, as a visionary. His experiences, his worldview, his ambitions have all changed. But what fans often want is to feel what they felt with BTS. That's what they want. They want to see what happened to BTS happen to the new group. They want to feel like how armies felt when BTS happened. So that feeling, however, belongs to a specific time and a specific place and a specific spirit, and that belongs to BTS. So even if Bang Shi-hyuk want to create something like that, he's no longer the man he was when he first created BTS. The environment is no longer the same environment he was in when he created BTS. So people kind of want things to not change, and it's inevitable for things and environment to change. Okay, next. um the pressure also kills the freedom. So when BTS was built, there essentially was, they had nothing else to lose, because they had nothing. When BTS was created, they actually had nothing. Big Hit was small, struggling company, and they could actually afford to take risks because they had nothing else to lose. They could afford to be different. But today, Hybe is a massive corporation. It's now a conglomerate in the US, sorry, in Korea, and now the fourth biggest label in the US. So there are shareholders, expectations, and billions of dollars on the line. So they can't be just as experimental as BTS. So the freedom that created BTS, the ability to be raw, to be imperfect, to be rebellious, and BTS was very raw and very imperfect and very, very rebellious in the beginning. That freedom is much harder now to protect when a mistake could wipe out millions of dollars. At best, art flourishes under risk, not under corporate pressure. And that's what they have right now, corporate pressure. But the good thing about BTS is that, as they've said, Bang Shi-hyuk and the company committed that BTS will just be supporting whatever they want to do. Okay. And also, there is the issue of emotional truth versus technical skill. Bang Shi-hyuk today is more skilled because he has honed his talent on a global scale. He knows more about the market, he knows more about the production, the business, and the branding. But the real magic that made BTS wasn't skill alone, it was actually hunger, right? Because he was really desperate for success, because that BTS was his last chance. They were in the brink of bankruptcy, and after that, I think if BTS failed, then they will not go anywhere. That kind of hunger cannot be manufactured once success has already been achieved. So the last reason he won't be able to create another BTS is the phenomenon of transcendence. BTS is no longer just a music group. They're a movement, they're a legend, a piece of living history. So at a certain point, even the creator can't stop what was made. And the creator in this scenario is Bang Shi-hyuk. He's not able to control or push or stop what he has created, which is BTS, because it's no longer his alone. BTS is not his alone anymore. It belongs to the fans, to us, to the culture and to history. So I think Bang Shiyu can and probably will create more successful groups, but he will build new stars, make great music, and lead an industry. I do think that eventually he's going to become one of the big three in the US will become big four, and Big Hit will actually Hybe America will actually join them. But I don't think he will be able to create another BTS. Not because he has lost his magic or his skills, but because the kind of magic can only happen once. And that's what makes it legendary. Okay. That's my spiel about him. Okay, BTS is a combination of effort and good fortune. Just 43 days until the final group comes back from military service. So excited for what will come next in chapter 3. Hi, Phaedra, Letitia Jones. Yes, I looked at Coldplay tickets as they are playing near me in July, but they are as expensive as J Hope and can only do as much in a month. Yeah, everyone being. Why did you not finish your sentence? Literal perfect storm, intrinsically and extrinsically. The fact that other companies wanted Bank PD to give them BTS is crazy and speak to so much of what they went through. Everything happened for a reason. They took the good with the bad and made it big. Army are those that believe in the message of BTS and support the OT7. Tech cookers are those that believe V and JK chosen name for themselves might be just deep friendship or more. I'm newer Army, so take what I think with a big grain of salt, but I think Army equals BTS fandom. Saw it on Instagram. What did you see on Instagram? Bang Shiyuk gave them wings to fly. Bang PD and BTS are a good combo. How close is Hype to Sony, UMG, and Warner? Oh, it's still far. I did a how was that? When did I do? I did the 2023 numbers, and they're like, I think the closest was Warner. I think the closest was Warner at 11 billion. And I think Hybe was like I want to say 4, probably 5 billion. So it's still far from the top 3, from the big 3. If chapter 2 was about no shirts, chapter 3 will be mind-blowing. The fandom is anyone that is a fan, either as armies or as solos or just a surface fans, just happen to like their music and band. I do have to say though that after I think the first time that I kind of felt exhausted with all this hate, this war in the fandom was this time. This AMA voting. That was the first time that I felt like, oh my god, like do I want to stay in X for this? Can I just do my own Patreon and let's just stay positive in that community? Um that was the first time I kind of felt like it. At the end of it, it was like, okay, I can always block. So that's what I did. I just kept on blocking people. I'm okay. Um, I'm okay if people, oh, okay. Anyway, it makes me laugh when K-poppers talk about the big three in SK. Well, you have the big three and then the giant one. So you have the giant one, which is big hit Hybe, and then you have the big three. And also SM is incorrect. It shouldn't be in the big three because they are now owned by Kakao, which says that they are now a multi-label company. So it should be Kakao, JYP. I think YG should be out at this stage. They've been like losing a lot of money for a really long time. The only reason they haven't been on a negative was because they've been selling their businesses. As the only reason they've stayed afloat. So I think it should be Kakao, JYP, and then big one is Hype. Giant one. Giant one, big two. Small one. Big three and giant one, yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't, as I've said, I don't know if I can, like, why do I think at this stage should be out of it? Good night, Evie. Um, it's really just the loud majority, sadly. Good night, Evie. I don't know why, but I think a lot of the AMA craziness is manufactured to drive a wedge in the fandom as well as Sully BTS's comeback. Didn't Bora City start calling them the medium three? I don't know. I think I would say giant one, big two, small one. I think YG at this stage should be in the it should be grouped with like Starship or something. Yeah, something like RBW. They're so small now. YG is closing. I'm forecasting it. They can still file a lot of loans. Our numbers slowly creep higher. Is BP selling out their concerts? No. No, they still are not. I think we can check here. Let's see. Do you want to see their concert? Ticketmaster. Yeah, I don't think they're starting to give away some of their tickets though. So if you want, you can just search for their giveaways. Okay. I've always been I've always been I've always been army. Then someone told me fandom is only tech cookers, so I just stopped saying anything to fandom. I only say army and the members I support. Look forward to see Hive's growth in South America and how they approach the region. Our streaming numbers as clarification. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so this is the I think they sold out one SoFi. Maybe this is the first day. Yeah, so they sold out day one. Oh no. Oh yeah. So this day one they've already sold out. So these are all resale. So in effect, those are so I think it's day two that they haven't sold out, which is kind of similar to Stray Kids. So yeah, there are still standard tickets. So when you see standard tickets on the side, that means they haven't sold out. So this is their day two. Yeah, still a lot. Look at that. So blue, pink is resale. They have to sell those tickets, otherwise people are those seats are gonna be like empty. So they still have a lot of blue. So all blue, those are still empty. Chicago, I think maybe they haven't. They still have a few. They still have a few because they still have that. So those are standard. Yeah, no, they still have a lot. Blue, all of that would be standard tickets, so not resale. So they still have a lot for Chicago. City Field. There's a lot of people. They're giving away a lot of the tickets. So if you want to watch, go take your chance. So there's still a few for day one for New York, Queens Field. But day two, they have a lot of tickets. I'm scared, really scared for when BTS tours again. I can't hear or see BP without thinking of the oil company. um, I can't. Uh, all those resale were likely bought by scalpers. Yeah, probably scalpers who think that they can resell it for like a higher price. Oh, there's a lot for day two. Oh my god, that's a lot. of vacant seats. They're selling, actually, Stray Kids is actually selling better than they are. I think for Toronto, they sold out one day, and then the other day they haven't sold out at all. So this is almost the same. Actually, Stray Kids is selling better than they are. Because for Stray Kids, for shows that they added, they're at least half full. At least half full. And then they sold out their first day. That's why they added more. Oh yeah. And there's a lot here. So there's a lot of standard tickets. So those are the blue ones are standard tickets. Still a lot. I hope they sell out. I mean, I feel bad for them. Wait, this is still day two. Oh, there's still the other day. Toronto, let's do second day. Will they move everyone to the floor if the seats don't sell? They usually block certain areas if the seats don't sell. So most likely, yeah, because it looks better in pictures. So all of these people, the problem is that this people who bought tickets that are now reselling better show up. Otherwise, it's going to really be half empty. So they better show up or just give away the tickets like they did. So, but that's a lot. So this is day two of Canada. That's a lot. A lot of vacant ones. Oh my god. And a lot of resales. But yes, usually that's what they do. Okay, let's go back to Blackpink. Seven Kings is back in Comlet. I feel sorry for the real performers of BP, but those that fake it, man. I have tickets for Stray Kids at City Field. I might go to there depending on the day and when they're going to be here. Oh, no, 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 sorry. I won't buy anymore. The reason I'm going to go to Europe is to accompany my niece to watch their concert. So, so no more buying for me here. I'll just go and um I think the disaster was it Italy or Barcelona? There's just like I think they were okay for one day in Paris. Oh no, no, I don't want to come here because it's like confusing or something. So I think for one day in France they're okay, and then the other day is just also a disaster. Mm, I don't know. I don't want to open that. Let's go to London to Wembley. If BTS does Wembley, I don't care. Oh, there's still a lot of tickets. Oh, like this or regular tickets. Yeah, there's still a lot. They will probably close the uppermost section. This section up here, close it and ask people to move down. That's probably what they're going to be doing. So this is day one. Let's go do day two. Oh, there's still more. Yeah. Oh, they lowered the tickets, the ticket price. It's now at 87.15. And they're going to close this section. They're going to close those section. This one, they're going to close that. Oh my god, it's a lot of blue. Yeah. Yep. Still a lot of blue. You can still get tickets. That's good news if you want to buy. So for Stray Kids, the reason I'm going to Europe is to accompany my niece. She wants to watch UK. I have tickets for both days of Stray Kids. Where? What venue? Thank you for all the info. Good night. Good night, Helena. I won't be able to finish my next topic. Um, I'll just talk it through, and then I'll do my next topic in the next live stream. I saw the post saying they were at 1% from selling out both days at Wembley. Well, you saw that. It's not 1%. Unless they probably are using math of a different nature or something. I just saw it. I just showed it to you. So that's not 1%. If they can sell out, why do 2 days? Just have one day to cut their losses. Pride. I think I think this is marketing more than anything. I think what want Yang Yan Sok is trying to do. I think he kind of knows that this is the last opportunity he has to sort of gather the girls again, because they're going to go become busy doing their own thing as solo artists. And he just wants to create history and, be able to say that YG was the first and Blackpink was the first girl group to sell out Wembley. I think that's what he wants. And that's a good marketing plan. That's a good marketing sell. In the future for investors, you can put that in your portfolio when you're looking for investors and say, hey, we produced the biggest girl group ever. So, yeah, I think that's what he's trying to do. And I honestly can't fault him for it. I mean, if he can pull it off, well and good. And if there's anybody who can pull it off, it would be Yang Yang Sok, because that's just who he is. He's, he's a marketer. He's a great marketer. And I've said this so many times. If I have half his marketing skills, I would be as rich as he is. YG is going to close many sections and then say BP sold out 2 days at Wembley. Probably, they will probably close out certain sections and give away tickets. The problem are the resellers. They have to show up, or I don't know, buy back the tickets the way that they did, or find a way to give it away. Because if those resellers don't show up, then it's going to be empty. Do you think they can sell Wembley? Who? BTS? Yes. Blackpink? No. It's too big. But they can make it appear as if they sell it out. They are using wishful thinking, man. Good gravy. I watched way longer than I meant to. Great stream. Good night. Good night, Beth. We're almost done. Yeah, but it backfired royally if anybody checks and disproves it. Well, it doesn't stop them. People, like a lot of people, actually come out with receipts, but it doesn't stop them. Like, how long did they actually made people believe that they sold out all of their venues in their last tour? A lot of people still believe them despite all the truth, despite all the receipts. So yeah, it doesn't stop them. Proof doesn't stop them. Bellatrix, BTS of course can sell out Wembley. Yeah. So the answer, if you're talking if Blackpink can sell out Wembley, obviously not. It's still not full. They haven't sold it out. BTS isn't doing everything as expected in terms of planning, so they can all go ahead and plan, because I don't think many will be in the ballpark. Um, yeah, I think I said this in Patreon. I have a nagging feeling that BTS is going to do something different. I don't know what that is, but I think they're going to do. And I do think that J Hope was actually being honest when he said that they're going to start making plans when the five members actually discharge. I think they've had several talks in the past on what approximately they want to do, but I don't think they have concrete plans yet. They're not allowed to also legally, so don't get them into trouble. So I think he's being honest when he said that he's excited when the BTS members actually come together again as seven and figure out what they want to do. And I think they're going to do something unexpected. I don't know what that is, but I think they're going to do something different. Like everyone right now is playing catch up to the 2019 BTS, right? Like going stadium tours, and no one has even come close. So, and now that they're trying to do that, they're trying to do like stadium or whatever. I think they're going to come up with um with something that people that will shock everyone and will try to replicate again. Residency, I don't know. Why do you think about what do you think about EXO and why they didn't work? Um, why do I think it didn't work with EXO? It worked for a while. I think because I think it's because of the foundation. A lot of people actually put them down and say that they are talentless and whatever. I disagree. I EXO members are talented. They're very very talented. I think training and the nature of the agencies one. I think SM was really built to milk a group in the first 7 years and then disintegrate them. Many of the that's usually what happens with the groups that they manage. They're okay in the first 7 years. The moment each of the members actually go and serve the military, that's it for them. So that's one. I think the structure of the company itself. The members weren't allowed to take control of their own creatives. And even if they were allowed to take their own creatives, they weren't trained the right way. And so the creative directions they were taking weren't revolutionary enough to actually develop their own fandom outside of what they have with XO. Um, the other thing is I think they did choose some of the wrong and SM is actually no, actually SM is pretty good in they have a pretty good batting average in choosing the right people for their group, but for EXO they chose just some wrong people in the group. Many of the members left very early, and so that kind of broke the spirit of many of the fans. Many of the Chinese members actually left early and decided to do like just Chinese to do promotions in China. So I think those three. One is the wrong foundation. They weren't trained the right way. They weren't like as I was discussing earlier in for BTS, the high groups are allowed to grow artistically, musically. They're exposed to different artists, to different genres, to different experiences. I don't think they have it in SM. And then as they grow in their career, they weren't given control. um and then and then even if when they were given control, because they didn't have the right foundation, they weren't able to create the right kind of art that would make them happy. um and then yeah, the structure of SM itself, like after the seventh year you're kind of like, okay, this is it, we're gonna get our money back and that's it. Army, yeah, that's another thing, but I've always believed that Army became as strong as we are because of BTS. Like if we didn't have a good foundation with BTS, we wouldn't be this strong. We're holding on to BTS because they are making quality music, but if they're making trash music, I don't think we'll be as strong as we are right now. So it still starts with BTS. Explain what makes a show sold out. What makes a show sold out? You mean technically sold out? What do you mean? What's the question? I don't understand the question. Was asking and I might not be able to answer right. What makes a show sold out? Do you mean technically? So if it is 99%, if the tickets are dispensed, that's sold out. And basically, the venue determines it. Some venues actually declare sold out at 95%. So technically, okay, technically, all right. So that depends on the venue. Some venues may declare sold out once their 95% of the tickets are sold. So once it hits 95, there are venues that really wait for 100% sold out. The complication happens when the agency, for example, RBW, the agency of Mamamoo, buys 5,000 tickets. This is just an example. They buy 5,000 tickets. So that is still considered sold, even though it was bought by the agency itself. As a venue, your only concern is that I need to have that money and that ticket to go out. It does not mean that real fans actually bought it. So there's still like there's a lot of sensitivities around it, a lot of nuances. So that's the answer to your question. Some venues will declare sold out at 95%, some 99%, and some 100%. But then sold out for the venue means the ticket was bought. So if the agency ended up being the one that bought the ticket, the venue wouldn't care. It will still be sold out because in their heads and in their books, the tickets were sold out. That's what makes it sold out. Now, like website X accounts like Touring Data. If you're on X, there's like Touring Data, K-pop touring, or whatever. This agencies would release this sites or accounts would release the number of um would release the statistics on the number of sold tickets and whatever. However, they rely on what the agency reports. So if, for example, SM Entertainment says, yep, 100% sold out, then it's 100% sold out. they, don't, they don't need proof. They just need to be told. That's the complication. Okay. That's not like that's not like concert sajegi. It is concert sajegi, but it's very, very common. Okay, we have 4 minutes left. Do you have any questions? If you do, you can always, we might not have enough time, you can always just send it DM me on X or on IG, or you can be a member of our Patreon community. So ticketing will be tomorrow. Do not forget, for Pacific it'll be 12 noon, and then this is for ticketing for Jin. Okay, let me pull it up so you do not forget. Oh wait, that's not him. Okay, so is that it? Okay. So ticketing for Jin will be um 12 noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Make sure that you copy your Army membership ID number. You still remember dropping. um so before, like, join the queue as early as you can. Wait as early as you can. About 30 minutes, they will put you inside the queue. And the sooner you're waiting, the sooner you will get in the queue, then the better chances you will get good tickets. All I know is a concert is sold out when fans can no longer buy tickets because none are available. Nah, it's not as easy as that. Isn't that the new work show, huh? For Jin concert, have you provided payment instructions for the suite? Not yet, because I was so busy at work. Because in the morning I was so focused with the tickets, right? Oh my god, you don't know the kind of pressure I was into to get that to get that suite. I wasn't able to sleep well because I was just waiting for the email. I was waiting at the clock. I was like, oh my god, can it be 7:30 already? And so as soon as his email went in to inform me what suites were available, oh my gosh, like, oh my god, I just need to I need to respond to this right away. I actually pulled over. I was driving and I heard my phone. And so I pulled over just to check my email and answer and tell them I want to reserve a certain space. And then after that, and so I was communicating with you guys on WhatsApp. I was communicating on WhatsApp to tell you like which suites are available and all. And so I wasn't able to like really breathe until I paid the suite. It was the pressure. Oh my god, Jin, the pressure. So that was after that I was like, oh, finally I got the suite. Now I only have to battle and join Hunger Games for one day. Okay, so Anaheim is 3 p.m. PST. No, 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 no. Anaheim is 12 noon Pacific for the tickets. 3 p.m. Eastern. Ticketing is 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay, people, remember 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific. That's ticketing, but you have to be in queue early. So right around like 11, join the queue. 11 Pacific, an hour before, you have to join the queue already. Don't, if you go 3 p.m., there will be no tickets left. So please, what day do you have this week? Day one, Wednesday. Day one. Day one. 12 p.m. PST. 12 p.m. PST. Okay. 12 p.m. PST. It's not, oh, here. Here. Do you see that? Do you see? EDT. Eastern. Army membership pre-sale, 3 p.m. Eastern. No, Bang Luna, 12. 12 for, well, we have the same time zone for Texas, right? So 12 Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. I don't know what MST. MST is -2. I don't know. And you're getting a suite in Europe, right? No, I'm not getting a suite in Europe. Just in New York. I will create a WhatsApp group for our European members of the Patreon community. So you guys can organize. How's that? Do you want that? I can create like a European. It's just that I'm the European channel in WhatsApp. It's just that I'm not like I can't help you guys much because I don't know anything about Europe, but I can gather you. Okay. So remember, okay, Amy, 12 noon Pacific, not 3 p.m. 12 noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, EDT, 3 p.m. Eastern. You're stressing me out. You guys are not going to get tickets at the rate you're going. Um, Eastern, it says EDT. Says EDT. You see that? EDT, Eastern. If that is specific, it would say PDT. Okay, so some are saying that it's 3 p.m. Pacific. So I guess just make sure that you check. That is what I will just advise. So it says EDT. So some are saying it's actually 3 p.m. Pacific. One that says 3 p.m. Pacific. Okay. So you guys know better because you're okay. Mine says CDT. My Ticketmaster says 3 p.m. CST. 3 p.m. in your time zone. Then okay. Also okay, so they're saying it's 3 p.m. your local time zone. Okay, people are saying it's 3 p.m. your local time zone. So whatever your local time zone is. I'm in California. I'm not in New York. Okay. I'm so stressed for tickets for BTS concert. Okay, people. So check it. Some people are saying it's 3 p.m. your time zone. So just make sure that you're there, whatever that may be. Just make sure that you're there early so that you can get your tickets early. Um, so thank you, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. I mean, I'll see you Wednesday, and good luck. Let me know. Message me on Patreon or on X if you got your tickets. I surely hope that you get yours, and I will certainly try to get as many tickets as I can, and as I will just resell at cost, but my priority would be Patreon. So whatever ticket I have and I get, I will immediately post it on Patreon. And yeah, thank you very much. Just double check, because some people are saying it's 3 p.m. your local time. That's what they're saying. So just double check. Okay. Bye, everybody. May the odds be ever in your favor. Bye. Thank you.